And if you find out that there are almost 96,000 plus jobs are available for data scientists, this is the LinkedIn data I'm talking. Close to 23,000 plus jobs are available for data analysts. If you go by the Naukri's data, there are more than 50,000 jobs are available in data science and analytics vertical. So how to make your career shift or transition into that industry? What it is? What are the hottest skill the individual they should acquire if you are looking forward to make your career in data science? So this is that session is all about, and we have our expert today. I'll quickly share my screen to set up the context and the agenda for this session. So this is the session, as all of you know. And I would again suggest you guys, if you have your friend peers who are also looking forward to get into data science, to ride that wave of data analytics, they want to make their career in data scientists, they want to make a career transition, do share the link through which you have joined so that others will also get the benefit out of that. So I am Ritin Joshi, welcoming you on behalf of Aegis on this Sunday morning for this exciting session, that careers in data science, analytics, and AI. So our esteemed speaker for this session would be Mr. Bhupesh Dahiria. Welcome you, sir. He is on board with us today. And he is the serial entrepreneur, EdTech futurist, educator, M&E Campus, the founder of M&E Campus, CEO for Aegis School of Data Science, founder of the Aegis Graham Bell Award, one of the largest innovation award in the entire Asia Pacific. That award is known Oscars in Innovation. So throughout, Mr. Dahiria is a serial entrepreneur, as I mentioned, known as an education reformist and the leader with more than 2 decades of experience in higher education, edtech, entrepreneurship, innovation, skilling, data science, AI, telecommunication areas. So his entire career is focused on eradicating the birth penalty through offering the quality education to the masses at the affordable cost. So he also founded Aegis School of Business, Data Science, Cybersecurity, Telecommunication in 2002 with the support of Bharti Airtel, the India's top telecom firm, as you know, for developing the next generation leaders. So a quick brief about Mr. Dahiria's profile. So let me quickly highlight the agenda for this session, what we are going to cover in this session. So we will be talking about what is data science, big data, business analytics. We'll also look into the roles. What are the roles of AI, machine learning, and deep learning in data science? What role it has to play? You will get the entire overview of the job opportunities, salaries, and trends. You will also get the impact of data science AI, which is creating in this entire world. We will be talking about the required skills, competencies, data, which for any individual who is looking forward to make their career, which is required. Career pathways we will be discussing. Transition into AI for non-tech background. We have candidates who are coming from absolutely non-tech background that offline guys were discussing and telling me. So we will be talking about how the kind of background they are coming from, how easy or tough it is for them to get into data science. We will be talking about the overview of data science versus business analytics. We'll also look forward for the real-time use cases, that how various industries are functional, like areas like finance, marketing, in different areas, industries like e-commerce, how they are utilizing data science and AI. So this is the quick agenda for today's session. So I would like to hand over this this virtual dais to Mr. Dahiria. Over to you, sir. So and again, a very warm welcome, guys. And I believe it will be a very enriching session for all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ritin. Thank you so much for setting up the context. Very good morning to all of you. Welcome to this meetup. Glad that you guys can join on Sunday morning. I think morning time is the best time to digest some important key concepts. And specifically, if you're thinking about career change, which could be a lifetime opportunity, it can really have a lifetime impact. Not only on you, but of course generations to come. So to welcome this again, this meetup, let me start sharing my screen. Okay, so some of the housekeeping rules. So if you have any question, please feel free to raise your hand. You can use your microphone, video to ask questions. Do participate. No question is a stupid question. Uh, I can really talk hours and hours on this data science, but it would be appropriate that if you can really use your prompt engineering to get the best answer from me and from this meetup. Great. So this is the brief agenda. So briefly, I will be talking about what is the career transition framework. How do you can really decide? What are the reasons? Right? What is data science, AI, skill sets needed? Some couple of success stories, some use cases, right? And then we will followed by the question answer. But you feel free to ask questions in between. Now, I won't spend time defining what is career and job, right? Quite theoretical stuff. But let's come down to practical aspect. How do we really decide about career choice? There are hundreds of career choices out there. Cybersecurity is there, analytics, AI, data science, right? Software development, DevOps is there. You can really get into sales, marketing, finance, hundreds of career aspects, options are there. And when you have so many choices, how do you really decide which career choice is best for you? So I think you need to really follow the first principle of reasoning. And before you decide which career choice is going to be best for you, and this job nobody can really do for you better than yourself because you understand yourself better. So you should start from, let's say, that in this session's context, you want to really take a choice about you starting your career in data science or AI or cyber, this area. So you have to really think why you want to really get into this area. Now, what is the reason? Could be money, could be long-term career. It could be that you want to really solve a problem, or let's say, so we had a student and Smita, and she lost her some relative, and they had to really on a railway station, and they have to go hundreds of hours of video footage to identify where that person was. So this was a real life issue she faced, and then eventually when she joined this program, she developed a smart computer vision system through which if you feed the entire video footage, this I'm talking about almost 6 years back. So you feed the footage, you put the photograph, and the system will actually identify in which frame that person was, right? Or perhaps you want to really solve the issue of cancer, you want to solve the cancer diagnostic, or you want to really work in marketing or maybe in sales. So or you want to really make more money. So whatever, so first decide what reason you want to be, why you want to do, where you want to really reach. And then second, you try to really see what this whole field is all about, and that in subsequent slides we'll be talking about what is data science and AI. Then try to really see that what this job entails. So what data scientists actually do, what AI engineer do, what business analysts do, right? What is data analytics job? And not only one company, various companies. The second, say, a practical thing would be to analyze JDs. So analyze couple of JDs. Say, let's say, example, you want to work with Capgemini or TCS or Wipro or maybe Factual Analytics or IBM or KPMG, EY. Visit these sites. Just go on a Google search data scientist job in Deloitte or KPMG or EY and read those JDs. JDs are job descriptions. These job descriptions have one important component which is called a skill set, right? So of course, all the data scientists will get pretty high money, so no reason to spend time on that. Read what are the skills they require, right? What job they do. So So majority of the data scientist job roles, you'll find that they require skills on linear algebra, calculus, statistics, their ability to analyze data, Python, machine learning, deep learning, NLP. So these are some common set of the skills, but some organizations may emphasize more on some particular area. So some organization may say that they need more hands-on on Excel or SQL. So while I was analyzing a lot of jobs, I come across this very strange job where they had a huge emphasis on only on SQL. Some jobs may require you to, so although they may have the designation as a data scientist, but the only skill they will be requiring is Power BI, which is visualization. Of course, just one skill, Power BI will not declare somebody as a data scientist, but you have to really see these JDs and see what skills you possess, which skills you can really transfer. Interact with those who are into this area, attend meetups. You'll find hundreds of Aegis alumni videos on our YouTube channel, YouTube/Aegis TV. Go over there, you'll find a lot of alumni. Go on LinkedIn, interact with these folks. So you want to get into, say, Deloitte, get hold of some data scientists in Deloitte, but don't speak to one. Maybe talk to, say, a couple of them, because depending on say department to department, or depending on the role, they might be doing absolutely different kind of jobs. So let's say a data scientist working in HR department may be only doing iteration analysis, right? Or maybe a data scientist who is working with some startup company, uh, doing very advanced level of work of, say, computer vision, or maybe uh, using LLM models like GPT for building up a chatbot, those kind of stuff. So it depends on which organization, which role, where you're talking about. And most of these roles, AI, data science, analytics, data analytics, there are a lot of skill sets which are common. And some places, some JDs, you'll find actually there is no difference, right? So interact with those who are in this field, attend meetups. Next, let's say you are into computer science. You have studied computer science, and you would like to see which are the transferable skills you can really take into this program. So let's say as a part of B computer science, you have studied Python, or let's say you have done BC and you have not studied Python, you have studied Java, right? So if you have studied Java, you can learn Python quite easily. Or let's say you have done BBA and you have studied sales and marketing, you have done some Excel work or a PPT. So you know these are the transferable skills you can retake to data science, because data scientists will require uh, absolutely good comm skill, presentation skill. They need to be extremely good at PowerPoint presentation. They need to be good at doing analysis in Excel. Still, even though we have a lot of fabulous tools like Power BI, Tableau, ClickSense, it's still majority of the data scientists still work on Excel sheet. Even though we are talking about big data, still they use SQL, which is a legacy system, right? So list down which are transferable skill you can really take into the job, and I'm sure that you will find a couple of them. Then decide. So once you are convinced, this will really take time, maybe a week's time or 10 days time, 15 days time, or a month, or maybe a year, right? Depends on you, how urgently you want to really decide, right? And then once you decide, then you need to really start preparation, right? That what are the new skill set you want to really learn, right? How much time do you have in your hand, right? Whether you want to really transition your career in next 2 years or 3 years, or you want to really get into, say, 3 months or 6 months. 3 months is quite ambitious target. You can't really acquire 3 months. So you have to be practical in terms of what kind of time you will require. So even though you know Python and you know SQL, even learning statistics and linear algebra calculus will require minimum 3 months to 6 months time. So I'm using very harsh word. those idiots, some bloggers, they mislead you that you can really learn data science in 3 months or a month or 2 weeks time. Don't follow those idiots. They have absolutely no practical idea. Either they have learned these things spending years and they're trying to be over smart by misleading you that you can really learn in a week's time or 2 weeks time or a 3 months time, right? Uh, use even a simple algorithm like linear regression. If you really go deeper, but it takes time of almost 15 days to a month's time to really master. And there are several other algorithms within machine learning. So don't get misled. And moreover, every individual have different learning style. Uh, right? They take time in terms of absorbing. So don't compare yourself because some people want to really go deeper into the theory and then they will apply those knowledge. And there are some other kind of people, those who would actually do the application and they will just copy the code from GitHub, uh, let the code run, you see the magic, and then they will go back and see how this code actually worked, and then they eventually go and see the mathematics behind that. Of course, the best method is uh, building up a ground up, but there's nothing best. It all depends on what suits to you. But eventually, you need to really master on all four aspects, which is understanding things conceptually, and even before that, formulation the problem that what you want to do. You want to do the sales prediction, or you want to do iteration, or you want to identify the churn prediction, or you want to really build a recommender system for an e-commerce site. What do you want to do? So formulate the problem, and that really takes a lot of time. Identify, do you really have a data for that? Then you have to really, in terms of a learning, you have to really first build up the conceptual understanding. Let's example, what is CNN, or what is machine learning, what is deep learning, what is data science, right? Understanding what is linear regression, where the matrices are being used. That's a conceptual part. And the second part is, of course, understanding the math behind those algorithms, because each algorithm, I'm sure you might have heard about these algorithms like a transformer, which is powering chat GPT, or CNN, which is powering facial recognition or object detection. All of us, we are using in our mobile phone to open our mobile phone. Uh, so you have to really understand conceptually, you have to understand the math behind that, then you have to really apply into the code by analyzing something. Like, for example, you have learning CNN, so you'll try to really do some facial recognition or object recognition uh, assignment. You'll try to really solve that problem through the code, and then finally you'll try to really deploy it on the cloud. So let's say you build a recommender system for movies, or maybe food item, or maybe course recommendation system, or a job recommender system, and this system need to really work on the live site, because the code which you have written is in Python, site might be working in PHP, right? So this integration you need to really understand, and that's where you'll take the help of cloud system like Microsoft Azure, or GCP, or AWS, right? So you have to really, typically for Indian scenario, it's a good approach that you try to really become a full stack data scientist, and it takes time and effort, not that you will become in a day one, right? So so plan what skills you will require and how long this will really take, and also you have to really analyze where you will learn these skills, by self study, or you require a mentorship, or you're comfortable with the idea of studying it online, or you will require somebody's assistance. You require a mentorship or a small support group, which you have always seen ideally exist in schools, colleges, and university environment. So what kind of learning framework or learning methodology you are comfortable with, and then based on that you have to really decide. And let's say you're doing a job, or let's say you don't have a job. So, and if you don't have the job, you can spend a lot of time over there. So you have to really take a call whether you want to join some full stack time program or a weekend program, or at all you don't want to join any program. You will do it self-learning, and there are tons of courses on YouTube or Coursera or edX where you can really learn these things free of cost, right? So that plan you have to really do. Then once you really start your journey, after 3 months or 4 months, start writing your CV, start preparing your resume, start preparing for the interviews, right? Take the help. There are a lot of platforms are there. We have also our Seagull. Go over there, upload the CV, go on Naukri, Monster, LinkedIn, and there are several strategies how you can really hunt the jobs, right? Just by uploading the CV, you'll get the job interview call. It doesn't work that way. So you have to really prepare for those jobs. I can conduct a separate session how to really get the job, or you can see a couple of the recorded ones, right? So you have to plan, and finally, once you start getting the interview calls, some in some interviews you'll fail, some interviews you'll learn, and some interviews you'll crack, and eventually you'll launch your career. So that's a broad framework which I've shared. If you have any questions, please ask me. I can respond one or two questions, and then we can go further discussing why you should launch career in AI data science. Mohan, Pranoti, Kanav, Vinay, Abdul. Guys, do you have any question? Rohit?
सर डाटा साइंस कोर्स बहुत हार्ड है क्या? प्रणोति।
कोई भी चीज हार्ड नहीं होता है प्रणोति। अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट है तो सब चीजें आसान हो जाएंगी। जिनका इंटरेस्ट रहता है वो
मुझे डर लग रहा है कि कर पाऊंगी कि नहीं। मैं नॉन टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड की हूँ, बी फॉर्म की हूँ, बैचलर इन फार्मेसी।
अच्छा, तो ऐसा है कि बिना मरे तो पता भी नहीं चलेगा कि स्वर्ग मिलेगा या क्या होगा। बट टू गिव यू द कॉन्टेक्स्ट, बहुत सारे बच्चे जो हैं जो नॉन टेक्निकल बैकग्राउंड से हैं, जिन्होंने बीकॉम किया है, बीबीए किया है, उन सब लोगों ने अपना करियर लॉन्च किया है। अभी जैसे आप इसका जियो मार्ट का रिकमेंडर सिस्टम, जियो मार्ट देखा है आपने?
हाँ।
जियो मार्ट टाइप करो, जियो मार्ट, तो वो जो जियो मार्ट का रिकमेंडर सिस्टम है, जैसे आप अमेजन पे जाते हो, आप व्हाइट शर्ट सर्च करते हो, तो आपको अमेजन क्या दिखाता है? व्हाइट शर्ट दिखाता है, ब्लू और ग्रीन नहीं दिखाता है। तो इसको रिकमेंडर सिस्टम बोलते हैं। ये मशीन लर्निंग का प्रोडक्ट है। अभी ये वाला जो काम है, ये श्रुति झोपे हमारी स्टूडेंट है, बीकॉम किया है थाने से, उसने बिल्ड किया हुआ है। तो बहुत सारे जो स्टूडेंट हैं जो बीकॉम और नॉन टेक बैकग्राउंड से हैं, वो लोग इस फील्ड में आते हैं। फार्मा से आते हैं, फार्मा से आए हुए काफी सारे स्टूडेंट जो है, वो एक बेंगलोर में एक कंपनी है इंडिजीन। इंडिजीन इज फॉर हेल्थ एनालिटिक्स, उसमें ये लोग काम करते हैं। एमबीबीएस, बी फार्मा, ये सब लोग। तो अभी जैसे पाइथन है, पाइथन पिछले 2 सालों से ही इंजीनियरिंग में भी इंट्रोड्यूस हुआ है। उसके पहले तो कहीं पढ़ाया नहीं जाता था, 2-3 सालों से हार्डली। तो अगर आपका इंटरेस्ट है तो आप इस फील्ड में ग्रो कर सकते हो। डेटा साइंस में आगे मैं और बताऊंगा आपको। डेटा साइंस में सिर्फ टेक्निकल स्किल इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं होती है, अभी आपको ये पता होना कि प्रॉब्लम क्या सॉल्व करोगे। तो अगर जैसे आपने बी फार्मा किया तो आपको फार्मेसी का डोमेन नॉलेज अच्छा खासा है। तो अगर आप किसी दवाई की कंपनी में काम करते हो, एग्जाम्पल चिपला में काम कर रहे हो, आप सन फार्मा में काम कर रहे हो, तो आपका डोमेन नॉलेज बहुत अच्छा होता है, जिसकी वजह से आपको एडवांटेज मिलता है। अगर किसी फील्ड का पता ही नहीं होगा तो आप कैसे करोगे? लेट्स एग्जाम्पल कि आपको ये पता ही नहीं है कि कैंसर किस वजह से होता है, तो आप कैंसर प्रेडिक्शन का मॉडल कैसे बनाओगे? समझ में आया प्रणति आपको?
हाँ हाँ हाँ।
अगर जैसे कोई किसी को सेल्स प्रेडिक्शन करना है, और अगर वो बीबीए बैकग्राउंड से आया हुआ है, एमबीए बैकग्राउंड से आया है, तो उसको सेल्स क्या होता है, कस्टमर सेगमेंटेशन क्या होता है, इसका बेटर अंडरस्टैंडिंग है। ऐसा नहीं है कि दूसरा उसको लर्न नहीं कर सकता है। तो कंपनियां ऐसे कैंडिडेट को उस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड में प्रेफरेंस देती है। जैसे आप EY, KPMG, डेलॉयट, ये कंसल्टिंग कंपनी है। ये कंसल्टिंग कंपनी के अंदर ये अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री को सपोर्ट करते हैं। तो कोई टेलीकॉम का इंडस्ट्री के लिए वर्क कर रहा है, कोई फार्मा के लिए कोई वर्क कर रहा है, कोई बैंकिंग के लिए वर्क कर रहा है। तो अलग अलग इंडस्ट्री के लिए वर्क करते हैं। तो जिस पर्सन का उस फील्ड में एजुकेशन, क्वालिफिकेशन या एक्सपीरियंस है, उसको एडवांटेज होता है। जैसे एग्जांपल, अभी कुछ स्टूडेंट जो हमारे हैं वो है फोर्ड मोटर्स में, वो मर्सिडीज में काम कर रहे हैं, वो मैकेनिकल इंजीनियर है। तो अभी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में जो बंदे को मैकेनिकल इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड से आया, उसको एक एडवांटेज होगा। ऐसा नहीं है कि कोई दूसरा नहीं जा सकता है, बट उसको एक एडवांटेज होता है। डज इट मेक सेंस?
Yes.
ओके, गुड क्वेश्चन। किसी और के दिमाग में कोई और सवाल है? विनय, कनव, मोहन? अब्दुल्ला भाई, ये आप लोगों के लिए सेशन है, मेरे लिए नहीं है। ठीक है, तो सुबह सुबह मैं यहाँ आशाराम बापू बन के तुम लोगों को ज्ञान देने नहीं आया हूँ। तो तुम
गुड
लोगों
मॉर्निंग
को
सर।
कल पूछना पड़ेगा कि तुम्हें क्या पता करना है। हाँ, बोलो।
विनय दिस साइड सर।
विनय बोलो।
Good morning sir, thank you so much for
गुड
this
मॉर्निंग।
session and your time sir. I really appreciate.
हम्म,
I'm a professor Vinay Munde. I teach MBA students, MBA finance students in Sinhagar Institute of Business Administration and Research in Pune University, Pune.
ओके। हम्म,
Yes, I think I'm from last 2 years I'm teaching to the MBA students. Okay,
हम्म,
but by looking at the new technology, I believe that data science, I should learn about the data science also.
राइट
Okay,
राइट।
all right. So this session is really helpful for me, and your time is also helpful for me. My question is, while doing my matlab, teaching to the MBA students, okay, how can I pursue data science education and later I can make it as my second career?
ओके,
Okay, while because I cannot leave this because teaching to the MBA students is my passion right now, and hmm,
वंडरफुल
I
वंडरफुल,
love teaching finance to the students also.
ग्रेट ग्रेट। So, Professor Vinay, I think you asked very relevant question, and I really appreciate that you opened up. So, fortunately, MBA is all about analytics. So, when you're teaching finance and accounting, you deal with numbers. It's all analysis. So, any financial statement is basically is numbers, right? There are tons of numbers which you really analyze. You calculate ratios, you calculate profitability, right? You have to really forecast as well. So it's fortunately is with numbers only. A lot of analytics is being used. Unfortunately, the way MBA is being taught in India is primarily theoretical and not deep rigor in terms of analytics. That's one part. The second, bigger than that, MBA concentrates on analysis of structured data. So the moment data comes in our head, we think about Excel sheet numbers, right? First column is name, second column is age, then the gender, then the address, then the income, and those kind of things. So this typical picture comes in our head about data. This is structured data. Unfortunately, we are trying to interpret the world based on hardly 2 to 3% or max 5% structured data. More than 95% of the data in this world is unstructured data.
Right.
Right. And that's the reason most of the top businessmen, like for example, Dhirubhai Ambani, or maybe even for that matter, Jeff Bezos, all these guys, they pretend that they take decisions on the structured data, but the real truth is they don't. They work on gut. Gut is basically is not an illogical phenomena. Gut is a complex, say, decision-making process uh, inside your brain. Our brain has billions of neurons, and it is very capable of analyzing those complex unstructured data and structured data. So unstructured data, like I heard your question, right? You're watching me, right? So you're
Yes.
observing my body language, right? The way I'm speaking, my tone, the content, right? Everything. This is unstructured data. At the same time, you're reading through the slides. So we as a
Right.
human being, we have amazing capability to assimilate unstructured data and structured data. And in this whole stuff, I have not spoken about anything which is structured, which is primarily a number, right?
Right.
So how we can really think that we will be able to take the right decision based on only 3% or 4% of unstructured data, which is unjustified. And that's the reason this large language models, which is like a GPT or Hugging Face, GPT chat by Hugging Face, these large language models has come. That is where the natural language processing, which is a subset of AI, has come. Let's understand the text, right, which is in natural language, and see chat GPT is as powerful as if there is a competition between uh, goddess Saraswati and chat GPT. I believe chat GPT will win over goddess, like nothing to do with your religious sentiment,
Yeah,
but it's just a
I
point.
believe so. Yeah.
Okay. And our knowledge corpus and intelligence, as a teacher, this was a shock to me, pleasant surprise that immediately in last 6 months, our intelligence, our knowledge has become a knowledge of a mammal in front of the chat GPT.
Right.
This is the just beginning. Is it going to replace us? No. The idea is that can we really use it for our purpose, which is teaching, right? Now, coming back to your direct question, that how you can really transition your career into this, I think this is a good idea, a good thought in your mind. There are several teachers, those who have joined our program, and they have transitioned. So they joined weekend program, even full-time program from engineering colleges, management colleges, and they have transitioned. Because as a teacher, we no more, we are like a old-time gurus. We are facilitators, right? So we have to really increase our breadth and depth in terms of really understanding, so that we can really facilitate our students. Right?
Okay.
That how do we really use chat GPT? So at ages now, our director Dr. Kulne is taking sessions with the student that how to use chat GPT for doing the data analysis, because there's no way
Okay.
you can really avoid that, right? But at the same time, we are also building a model, and I'll show you that we build a system through which we can really do the auto subjective assessment, auto grading. So I think this is a good idea. This will not only create a parallel career, but I think you will be able to merge both the career. So you
I
have
hope
a
so.
huge domain understanding, and you
Hmm.
can grow as a consultant. You can really take consulting industry projects.
Yes. That's the plan. Hmm.
Yes, yes. So just day before yesterday, I was in Chennai. Dr. Kulkarni and me, we were conducting a workshop for Chola Mandla executives. These
Okay.
were the somewhere around 75 auditors, right? And we were actually teaching them how to use AI and data science in audit process for forensic auditing or financial control, these kind of stuff, assessment of the risk and fraud. And these 75 folks, they had a huge wealth of understanding in terms of finance, which perhaps none of us possess. And that's where the domain understanding comes. So you have a huge domain understanding, which is finance and accounting. If you merge it with the AI capability, data science capability, this will not only add wings to your career, but you will be able to really add a life to your student as well.
Yes.
And India, there are almost in last couple of years, 3,500 fintech companies has came up. And all these fintech companies require domain understanding, at the same time tool and AI and data science understanding. I
Yes,
hope
of
I am
course.
able to answer your question.
Yes, yes, clearly. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Any
Hello,
more
sir.
questions? Yes, please.
Hello, sir. I'm Dattatray Bopre. Actually, it's my brother's account. That's why it is showing you Mohan Bopre there.
Okay, thank you.
Good
No
morning,
worries.
sir.
Good morning, Datta.
my question is, I'm just completed with my engineering, BTech in
Okay.
computer science and engineering last month.
Mhm.
And I am also placed in a company DXC Technology,
Okay.
but
Okay.
they are extending their joining date. So that's
Okay.
why till the joining, I get the joining date. I am in
Mhm.
the question of what to do till then.
Okay.
So that's why I came
What is
across
the
this.
joining date you got?
They haven't mentioned their joining date.
Okay.
They just
So
told me that
Dattare, hear me out, right?
Datta.
So most of the companies,
Hmm.
I'm not
Hmm.
very specific about this company because I don't have the data.
Okay.
Last year, most of the companies, they have done the overhiring,
Okay.
right? I will not name, but most of the companies, they have done a overhiring. So if they needed 1,000 people, they have hired 5,000 people,
Right.
right? So some of the students even could not get the joining of last year.
Right, sir.
And their majority of the companies, they are planning to chuck them out
Okay.
of those who join in 2022, which is July
Mhm.
or June, right?
Mhm.
Lot of them, they will be fired this year,
Okay.
right? Because hiring is frozen across the world. Not
Okay.
trying to really scare you, but
Hmm.
don't be hopeful that you will get the joining. Because the
Okay.
moment they delay the joining, what happens? A lot of candidates, they enroll for some program or they get the other job. So let's say they have extended the offered letter to 1,000 people.
Hmm.
Maybe the moment they declare, and they have not given a certain time, right? And that's what I want to really check. When they have
Mhm.
not given a certain time frame, you can't
Hmm.
you can't really put your career in uncertainty, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
So majority of the people, maybe let's say 50% people, 500 people will look for other courses or they will join the job, right? Then remaining will be 500 people, and then they will keep on postponing it.
Okay.
Because while they have hired large number surplus manpower last year, they are
Hmm.
planning to check them out this year. You are not really sure, and it is extremely difficult to predict. So the only thing what you can really do, you can identify people, those who are working that company, those who joined last year, and ask
Hmm.
them they are on the bench or they are really working on the project.
Okay, sir.
Try to get the estimation.
Hmm.
Are they in position to give you the job?
Right.
Because the moment they withdraw the offer letter, their credibility will ruin in the market, which they will not do.
Mm-hmm.
But they will create a situation wherein you will be forced to really take up other job. So don't be hopeful. Okay, coming back to your question,
Okay.
use this time because you're not sure whether they will give you the job or not, right? So
Mm-hmm.
use this time,
Okay, so
start
that's where I
studying.
came across an idea. Right
Hmm,
after my completion of my engineering,
hmm,
I thought of an idea about
hmm.
share market. I
Okay.
was just learning about the terminology regarding the share market.
Hmm,
Even I am still in the process of learning them.
okay. Okay.
Mm, what I thought is one of my friend was doing trading
Hmm,
at some day a few days ago.
hmm,
Uh, what I recognized that
hmm,
my friend was analyzing some data which he
hmm,
had at that time
hmm.
from the real time data of the stock market.
Okay. Hmm,
So what I thought what thought I came in my mind that time is,
hmm.
shall we म्हणजे, can we automate that thing of analyzing the data that he was doing manually?
Yes, you can.
Means there are many parameters based on which the shares
Yes,
value
you can.
go.
Yes, you can. You can. So look, data scientists, they do two jobs. One is manually analyzing the data, and the
Hmm.
second is building a data product or AI product which can really automate this whole task.
Okay, so
You can do that.
I asked this same idea to many of my close friends. So
Hmm.
what they told me is there are already some platforms available there in the market which
Right.
analyzes or take the real time data
Hmm, hmm,
from the stock market and
hmm.
give some insights or give some tips to the investors.
Right.
So is it correct?
Yeah. So there are hundreds of platforms they do this job. All these investment banking, all these companies, they are into this area. So so if you want to really venture into this, first, typically stock market predictions, which is primarily very efficient area, right? So best of the brains are working in that area. So you just can't jump in that area with the shallow knowledge in terms of stock market, at the same time technology. So you have to really gain the deeper knowledge on in terms of analysis of the stock price market. At the same time, you also need to really gain the deeper technical understanding, right? So tools, you'll get a lot of tools, through which you can really do the analysis. Even if you really put some stock prices, ChatGPT can do the analysis for you. But if you're trying to really build an enterprise grade platform, you also need to really build up your fundamentals, right? And any analysis of number lies down in the fundamental understanding about the statistics, right? Just by technology understanding, you can't really build a sophisticated platform which will do this analysis, because you'll never know whether this analysis is right or a wrong analysis. You need to understand the math and the domain knowledge.
Sir, is it correct that we can get the real-time data from the stock market?
Not real-time data, near real-time data. So once they have the, so you have to really scrape, or you have to really take the official API from different portals.
Sir, even after one of my friend told me that even after purchasing that API, which can fetch the data from the real-time data from the real stock market, it delays it. Means 5 seconds.
That's the reason I told you near real time.
Okay, means
right. Real time is not possible. Okay, so let us take this question offline, right? Okay, I can really help you, assist you, advise you. Right?
Yes, yes. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let's see what are the top reasons. So there are hundreds of reasons, but I have listed down top 5 reasons why you should choose career in data science and AI. Number one, it is a future-proof career, right? So AI is likely to generate roughly around $15 trillion additional revenue to global economy. Let's understand what is $15 trillion. India's economy is roughly around $3 trillion, which is the 5 times than the India's economy. Current China's economy is close to $15 trillion. So in next 8 years, this is going to generate so much of wealth. So if you want to really take a pie of that wealth, you have to be in this wave, right? That's number one. And if you really see, since the invent of mobile phone, not many great innovations has happened, right? And after mobile phone, if you see, the greatest innovation which is really impacting masses is the ChatGPT, right? They have over 150 million users and growing exponentially. It's so profound. So you need to really have understanding about AI and data science. This is something which will not only impact your career, but it will also impact the career of your future generations. And you, in a large, you can impact society in a great way. From various sectors, right? From finance to account, to marketing, to cancer research, to flood prediction. So there is a 4 or 5 bunch of data scientists in Israel, and they have built a flood prediction model for Gangetic Plain, which works pretty well, right? So sitting in Israel, these folks, they have visited here in India, they collected the data and they built the model, right? Which is a good social use case. We, at our ages, we also have built Kojo project, which is to stop child trafficking and women trafficking. It uses the computer vision. So you just upload the photograph of missing children, and if you find a children begging on the street, just take the photograph through the mobile. It will upload into the cloud, and it will really match the photograph which are there in the database. And if it find the match, it will send alert to the nearest police station with geolocation. It will send the alert to the police station from where the complaint was launched, parents and NGO. So data science AI has a profound impact on a society in a large other than the business. The next is high demand. So even though while recession is there, the hiring is not happening in IT or software. AI engineers, data scientists are being hired. Now let's understand why so. Because we sometimes get mistaken that AI and data science is a part of IT. Yes, it is a part of IT. It is overlap, but this is a more of a decision science. So even though if your employee strength is 1,000, you have cut down to 500. Now you have to really get the work of 1,000 from these 500 people. So you need a godlike power, and you need to really automate a lot of stuff. And that's where you will require data scientists and AI engineers. So to give you the context, let's say you are in an e-commerce company, or let's say you're in the business of selling flowers, and your employee strength is 1,000, and you have to cut down to 500, and now you have to really increase your sales. And if you have to increase your sales, of course, you have to really, you can't really go keep on opening the say on ground stores, right? Sales stores. So you have to really start opening up the online channel. And once you start the opening online channel, you have to really build recommender system, which can really automate the recommendation to buyers, right? So any recommender system across the world, be it Amazon or be it Flipkart, the two-third revenue comes out of the recommender system, right? And we all are aware about the recommender system. So that's the kind of value data scientists they give. Let's say you have Airtel has got 350 million customers, and they want to really send a new plan which is like 100 GB on say 250 rupees. Are they going to send an email to all 350 million customers? No. So they will identify which customers are likely to open or subscribe to that package. And that's where data scientists really come handy. AI engineers come handy to really build those automated platforms. So while there is a cut down, there is a stagnation in terms of hiring. AI and data scientists are being hired because they can automate, they can cut down the cost, they improve the customer experience, they add revenue, they impact on top line and bottom line both, right? Does it make sense? Then, of course, high earning. Data scientists, a fresher data scientist, this year we are seeing typically getting 9.5 lakh rupees to 18 lakh, 20 lakh rupees easily, right? Doesn't matter from which institutions you come from. So these salaries typically you get from the top institutions. Experienced professionals, we are seeing they get roughly around 5x salary hike over the period of 3 years or 4 years, right? Innovation and impact. So you can use AI to do the innovation, and I gave you a couple of examples, right, from cancer research to developing softwares, right? So now no more you have to really write a code. You can really get this job done through the auto copilot, right? We have a testing platform in which we are using. So while we were the pioneer in terms of really doing the campus recruitment, and we were doing this since 2006. During COVID, there was a need came wherein you have to appear for the examination assessment from the home. And how do you really monitor? So either you shut down your company and say, no, you can't really conduct the examination from the home, or you innovate. So we develop AI proctoring software, and this was done by one of our students in Pune. And now what this AI proctoring software does, and most of you are aware, that it checks your face. So instead of me, if Mohan tries to appear for the examination, it will detect and will give the alert. So there was a case when we were conducting the examination for Goa University, the system gave a flag at so at 10:15, and when we looked into the system, we realized at 10 o'clock the candidate gender was female, location was Panji, and 10:15 this candidate gender became male, and the location changed from Panji to Delhi. What it means, um, we can all understand what she did, right? Shared the user ID password with friend in Delhi. So you can really do this kind of innovation on existing products. Diverse industry, it is not only in IT. You will be applying this knowledge in healthcare, banking. You'll be doing the fraud detection. Healthcare, you'll be doing the cancer prediction. You will be trying to really do the analysis of CT scans or MRIs or X-rays to detect any abnormality in your bone or body. Sports, it is being used in marketing, finance, operations, HR. You'll do the iteration analysis. Finance, you try to really see which vendor is not likely to pay you the money, uh, whom you should really give you the loan, how much loan you should really give, what kind of pricing you should really keep, which market you should launch that product, at what price you should launch those products, right? So the impact is almost in every industry, every field. The government is also using it. Tesla is not a typical car manufacturer, just like a Ford or Toyota traditionally. It is more of an AI company, and they make smart cars, right? And that's the reason Tesla cars are costliest and they are growing exponentially. Okay, so this reel you can really find on YouTube, which will talk about 5 reasons. I'll not play it over here. Right? So, any questions so far?
Sir, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, I'm Shaun Kumar Das. Currently,
Shaun.
I'm working in HDFC Bank as a
Okay.
relationship manager. I'm selling
Okay.
loans, sir, loan section.
Okay, great.
So my query is that I need suggestions, sir, regarding means, sir, I have I have researched about data science, and I have found that there are 3 fields that I can join really. That is as a
Right.
data scientist, as a data analyst, and as a data engineer. But
Right.
my confusion is that, sir, which will be more effective for me?
Okay, so what is your basic degree?
Sir, I have done master's, sir. Previously, I did a BTech in electrical engineering, and I did a
Okay.
master's in power system engineering. And by
Okay.
my campusing, I got a chance as a RM in HDFC Bank, sir. And
Okay.
my skill is basically an analyst, sir, because all the educational time.
No, I got it. So, professional advice, if I give you based on your qualification in the current job you're doing, how long you are into this job?
Sir, almost 2 years, sir, it will be now.
Almost 2 years. I think you should think about data science.
Yes,
I'll tell you why data engineering is not suitable field for you. Data engineering is for those who have very good experience in databases, right? So data engineers,
collecting data.
let's understand what their job is. Data engineer's job is to build the data infrastructure, which could be SQL, which could be Hadoop or Spark, right? Or perhaps a cloud platform, and they need to be extremely good in Linux, SQL, MongoDB. They should be good in Java, right? So this requires hardcore technology skills,
Yes,
which you don't possess by your qualification and by your experience, right?
no, sir.
Now,
No,
your experience is more of an analysis. As a RM, you analyze human behavior and you analyze the numbers, right? That's
Yes.
what the data scientists do. So I think the natural career progression for you is to think about data science. HDFC Bank, a lot of our students, they are doing the risk assessment, credit assessment, right? These kind of stuff. Lendane.com. Have you heard about Lendane?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
It's
Lendane
about,
chief data scientist. Yeah, Lendane chief data scientist and co-founder is our student, right? What they do the credit assessment, they do the risk assessment, they do the fraud analysis, they do how much, what should be the loan limit, right? They do the fraud analysis even in KYC, right? So these kind of stuff, our students they are doing in HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank, or JP Morgan, or Citibank, or almost every bank. Not only our student, but other folks as well. So that's the job of data scientist, and I think with these tools, you will be able to do justice to your job, and naturally you will move up into the career ladder, not only intellectually, not only designation wise, but monetary impact as well. And you'll see that whatever the models you're building, that will be in action. This will give you a huge satisfaction in your career.
Sir, one thing I would ask is whether I should be more eager in building a system for assessing of risk management, or should I go for demand forecasting, which is basically completely analytical of how much should I do business?
So at this point of time, I would recommend, since you have no idea about data science, you're doing the basic analysis, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
which is an Excel sheet or some documents which comes to you. So
Yes,
data
sir.
scientists essentially do two things. One, data analysis. Let's say you got the bank statement, you got the CIBIL score, and manually you're trying to assess whether you should give the
Yes,
loan
sir.
or not.
Only by VLOOKUP I am doing and trying to get data.
Great. So this is manual data analysis, or you may use Python libraries, or you may use Excel or some other tools, right? So that is the analysis part. The second part is building up a data product, right? So data product is like you're doing it manually each customer. So what you can really do, perhaps you have to really analyze every day. You're getting 100,000 queries, right? So you will put this 1,000 data point into a product. Let's say you created a loan application system. So people are filling up all those data, and then you're getting some data by the customer, and you're getting some third-party data, right? Third-party data could be CIBIL score. Third-party data could be their LinkedIn profile, or a Facebook profile, or a Twitter profile. You would like to also combine police verification, if their cases are there or not. And you can actually Google crawl, right? What kind of credibility this person is having. So you can actually come up with the social credit score, which not many banks are using, right? You would like to really see how many cities this candidate has changed, right? So day before yesterday, only Chola Mangla guys were talking about one fraud case wherein a guy was living in Delhi, but he was applying for a loan in Chennai, right? And he has shown an address in Chennai as well. And he has done several frauds in Delhi and Meerut and Gurgaon, or those areas, right? So how do you really get this? And if they upload the fake ID, which is Aadhaar card, as a human, you can't really identify. So I can use your Aadhaar card. I can put my photograph, right? And there's no way that you will be able to identify.
No, sir. No, sir.
Right? So identity theft is there, and wait for 3 months. Even today, our student in lab can really create the fake Aadhaar cards, right? So I'll take photograph from your Facebook or LinkedIn, and can really create any fake identity. So as a human being, number one, you are incapable. When I'm saying you, I'm saying about human beings. We as a human being are incapable of detecting those things with our naked eyes, number one. Number two, our speed is an issue, because company is not paying you to analyze one customer in a day, right? Company, if you are able to really analyze 1 lakh or 1,000 people and just look at those who are critical, right? Let's say system says these are the 5 critical cases, then you'll go and do the manual intervention, right? That's where you will be adding a value, and that's where the company will pay you more.
Absolutely.
Right? So my professional advice, do not think at this what you want to really do. You have to think that yes, you have a transferable skill, that you have a huge domain knowledge, right? You have a understanding, and there is a demand, there is a need in bank. Bank do not have a competition from each other. Banks have a competition from fintech, those who are embracing AI and data science, and that's what you have to really learn. So you will be a huge value add to the organization, and your career will be agile. You can really work with HDFC, you can work with Citibank, you can really work fintech, or you can start your own. Does it make sense?
Yes, correct, sir. Sir, I understood. Right? Basically,
and then the next question is, how do you really start? How do you start your journey? So you have to really think. You can't leave a job. You're earning a money, so you have to really think about, okay, should I really do it as self-learning? I will not advise, because you don't have that much of time. But if you are really keen, you can really go on the self-learning path, or you can really go on a guided path by joining some program which runs on weekends, or take the mentorship from somebody.
Right, sir.
Right? Okay, wonderful. Any question?
Thank you. Thank
Any
you.
other question? But it is a professionally, I can endorse that this is a good thought, good idea. You should go ahead.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
I
May
will
I
be
ask, what is
pursuing.
your current salary?
Sir, presently in hand, I am getting 38,000.
Okay, so let's understand. So see, you have done masters, you're a BTech,
Yes, sir.
you have 2 years
Sir.
experience,
Yes, sir.
and the fresher guys are making almost twice the salary than what you're making, right? Which is almost
Yes, sir.
2.5, right? So
Yes,
once you have the experience, but you can't imagine the kind of growth territory you will get into. And moreover, you have to also
Yes, sir.
think in this today's time, that is this job replaceable?
Yes, sir. Because
Is your
I
job
want to,
machine
sir.
can do? Yes,
Yes, sir. It
you're
can be done, sir.
replaceable.
It can be done by
Yeah,
machine.
yeah,
It can.
you're replaceable. So this is a great danger for you. So immediately you have to really think that yes, I need to really move up into the value chain.
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So let's quickly see what is data science. So data science word was coined by Indian gentleman named Dr. DJ Patil. He used to work for LinkedIn as a data scientist, and his friend Jeff, he was working with Facebook. Both of these folks, they met in evening, and they were doing much advanced level of job. This I'm talking about 2008, not long back. And over the year, they discussed that this designation, which is data analyst and business analyst job, is not suitable to them because they were doing building up a data product like a recommender system. They were doing the text analytics and other stuff, analyzing the large data. So they came up with this idea that data scientist is the right designation for them, and that's how they coined this word. And not only coined, they crowned themselves with a data scientist designation. And 2008, this data scientist word was coined. Later on, DJ Patil became the US government's first chief data scientist, and rather the first data scientist in any government organization across the world. Then 12, DJ Patil wrote an article with HBR, and the title of this article is Data Scientist, the Sexiest Job of 21st Century. So this, don't go by this title. Title is quite misleading. Read this article, take a snapshot. It is a wonderful article by the man who coined this term. Read this, quite insightful. But it's not a Shah Rukh Khan or Deepika Padukone job, which is a sexy job. It's a messy job because 90% of the time you will be dealing with the data, messy data, and trying to really make sense out of that. But intellectually, it is quite satisfying. You can apply in almost every area which I spoke about. It is a highly remunerating, and that's where perhaps the sexiness is. Right. Okay, so let's see. These are some statistics which I have shared, like almost 2.1 lakh jobs are in demand as per the NESCOM. These are some 58,000 jobs in LinkedIn. These are indicative. You should feel happy, and you should not, because job is there, but what you will do if you don't have the right kind of skill. But there is a demand, right? Uh, this is some other statistics which I have already shared. The global demand for data scientists will exceed supply by over 50%, which is happening. We started India's first PGP in data science way back in 2015. And that time in India, we were only having almost 35 to 40 data scientists. And I knew most of them. But today, if you see, India has become the largest producers of the data scientists. Currently, in India, close to 4 lakh people are working in this area. And this has become the largest manpower generator for data science, AI, business analytics across the world. Why? The reason being, most of us, we are good in mathematics. We've studied whether we liked it or we didn't like it. We have some basic understanding. The second, money attracts us, right? So wherever we see the money, the spark comes in our eyes, and we jump on that. We are greedy people. So, and technology does not really intimidate us. So these three things actually helped us a lot in terms of fueling the global AI and data science landscape. The other, which is another most important aspect, India is the second largest data generator, right? So because of our sheer population. And years to come will become the largest data generator across the world. So if you have the data, because data is needed to really run the AI engine or do the data analysis. So I think we can really lead the world in this area. Now let's understand what is data science. So data science is one making the sense out of the data, whether it is a large data or a small data. Earlier, business analysts were analyzing only structured data, which is in rows and columns in Excel sheet, and the data was small. Data scientist now is analyzing the large volume of the data, and large volume big data is a composition of text, images, videos, Twitter data, Facebook data, right? Log file, so any kind of data, right? So which is a monsters, and it is difficult to really analyze. And that's where the AI comes into the picture. So the difference between business analyst, data analyst, and data scientist is not very generic rule, but the major differentiator is that data scientists can analyze the large volume of the data, which is called the big data. Okay. What kind of analysis they do, predicting the patient, whether the patient will be, when he will be readmitted, insurance fraud, right? So customer analytics, fraud detection, risk management, stock trading, right? Customer service. So these kind of analysis data scientists they do, right? But if you see, let's say stock trading or stock price prediction, they not only analyze the structured data, but they also analyze about the news. So let's say you get the news about some top company executive is having the brain tumor. What will be the impact? The immediate impact will be the stock price will crash. So you have to keep on tracking that, yes, what is the good news or a bad news about that company, or what are the hidden newses, right, on a dark web or anywhere. So although if you really just analyze the structured data, you can build a model based on the historical data, and you can really say, okay, the stock price will grow by say 2% or 3% or will remain static. But you are not reading into the text data, which is lying over there on auditor's report or maybe on news or some social media, right? These are some projects which we are running at Aegis, which is skill job trend analysis, job recommender system. We did churn prediction for Idea Vodafone. We built the big data infrastructure for leading ISP in Vashi, right? AI proctoring system for examination, right? So these are hundreds of projects which we are running. The current project which we are running is doing the auto grading of subject examination. Okay. Now this is the next work definition. My definition: data science is equals to traditional analytics applied on the big data using the AI tools. Let me explain it to you. So let's say we were doing the churn prediction for Idea Vodafone. There was a huge data about structured data in the CDR files, and these were the 10 million customers. And there was another data which is billing data, and third data is CRM data. CRM data is primarily the text data, and with normal tools you can't analyze the text data, right? So we had to combine all these three large data, and we have to really analyze. So if you have to analyze the text data, you will be using the AI, right? And if you have to really identify the pattern, you will be using machine learning or deep learning, which are subset of AI. But the use case of churn prediction is an age-old prediction, which is almost half a century old use case. So modern data science is basically doing the analytics on the big data with the help of various AI techniques, which could be machine learning, deep learning, NLP, computer vision, and other stuff. Right? Data science is also about not only doing the data analysis, but also automating the data science, which earlier I spoke about. So this recommender system, so if you have to do the recommendation to the customer, just like the way it happens in the traditional shop, if Amazon has to employ shopkeepers, they have to employ 160 million shopkeepers because there are 160 million customers, and which is not practically possible. So you have built this AI recommender system, machine learning recommender system, which does this job just like a human being. So it is automating this whole analysis and recommendation job, right? Let's see some projects.
So please turn on the audio, sir. You need to
Yeah,
share
yeah,
the-
definitely.
So before I start with what the project is about, like let's go back
Can you
sometime
hear
where
voice?
there was a time when we all used to click a
Yes,
lot of
it's coming.
back in the days when the films, it was made out of films, and we used to share a lot of memories, and when we used to show.
So
So
what these
now
folks have done,
of it.
they
That's
have
what
created
we are trying
a
to do here.
system
So my
uh,
colleague Dipto here
in
would
which you can really upload
Generate the
a
story.
photograph.
So what it does is like this is a three-phase model. So first part is a skip thought model. So it is what does is like a encoder decoder network. So it's a deep learning model which is based on a romantic story. We have a 14 million passage of book corpus data. We have trained it up. Embedding we have these captions.
So what it does, you upload the photograph and it generates the story. And these folks, they have done this job in 2018. Now it has become quite common with you have generative AI, so you can really generate the images with the text prompt, or even GPT can analyze the image and tell you the story. But it was pretty advanced in 2018, and I think 17 the transformer network were built. So it was pretty high end during that time. All of these are three student. One is working with Meta, the other one is in Poland, right? Amazing job these guys have done. This is another project which students have developed at our lab, which is auto car damage detection. Let me just run this video for you.
So first, user have to upload an image where a number plate is visible so that we can validate that this car is registered with an insurance company. So as you can see, that number plate has been detected and this is the number plate. Second step is we have to upload an image of a car where damage is visible. So here our image classification and image segmentation model will be working in backend. So as you can see in this output image that clearly a dent has been detected in the front. And you can see that car, it is validated, damage is validated, location is front, and severity is severe. And this is our team.
So this kind of stuff can be used for insurance companies to estimate the kind of damage, estimate the insurance claim, and doing it automatically. Okay, this was like a auto car commentary generation. Both the students, those who did this job, they came
Arshahar
from
to
BCom
Watson.
background.
That's a good length ball. And he gets down on his haunches and sweeps this toward.
All right. This is the project I was talking about, FOJO project for stopping and reducing the child trafficking, women trafficking. Right. Okay, so let's come down to analysis of skills. This is what I was talking about in the framework, that you have to identify what kind of skills are needed. So this is based on the 24,000 jobs analysis, and this is the outcome. So one of the most prominent skill set which is needed to become a data scientist is the Python, SQL, machine learning, right? NLP, statistics, Hadoop. So these are the skills you'll require. This is based on 24,000 jobs analysis. So at Aegis, we build a curriculum not based on our hunches. We build curriculum based on what data is speaking. I've conducted 2 workshops in Dubai and Singapore about developing a curriculum and identifying the gap using the AI. So we use AI for identifying the important skills needed to become a data scientist. We just don't rely on our instinct and our hunches. We analyze the data. right? So you can see in each area how many jobs are there. In machine learning, you have 5,700 jobs are there, right? This is the job recommender system. It is written in a Python, running inside the PHP code, right? It gives the recommendation to the candidate based on their skills, their academic qualification, everything. This is the learner's analytics. This is again is running live on our platforms, right? Now, quickly, what questions you will be learning to answer these tools with these tools? What is happening, which is called discovery? What has happened, which is called descriptive analytics? Let's say you have launched iPhone or OnePlus, and you gave advertisement in Times of India, and you would like to really know how many people have bought this phone, right? Which is called descriptive analytics. It's just like you're feeling having a fever. You would like to go to a doctor, and doctor will do the diagnostic. Based on the diagnostic, doctor will tell you whether it is because of viral or whether it is because of a malaria or dengue or anything. So let's say you plan that you will sell 10 million devices, but you have only sold 5 million devices. So you will try to analyze why did it happen, right? And that's called diagnostic business intelligence. Now you want to really launch, so even before launching the OnePlus, giving the advertisement, you will try to assess how many phones we will sell, which is called predictive analytics. Trying to really get into the future, trying to predict what will be the stock price of Tech Mahindra tomorrow, right? Or maybe after 30 days, or what will be my sales revenue next quarter, right? So you'll take the historical data, and based on that, you'll try to really predict, right? You'll try to really see what is the likelihood of this customer repaying the loan, right? Then prescriptive analytics, what should I do, right? So your data scientist team will predict that yes, you will not be able to sell 10 million phones, you will sell only 500,000 phones. So you need to really come up with a strategy that what I should really do, which is called predictive. So a lot of optimization techniques are being used, right? It is then you will also try to really, as a human being, we learn, we can really tell that we should do this thing or not. What do we learn with this interaction, right? What do we learn in last 1 year or 6 months? What has happened, right? So the cognitive systems can really respond just like a human being, and you see this happening in the chat GPT. Right. Okay, so data science is combination of, say, domain knowledge, which is very critical, and some of you, I can clearly see you have a domain knowledge. And then you need to have the stats, mathematics, probability, because every analysis is basically mathematical analysis. Then you need to know the machine learning. Machine learning adds the wings to the statistical analysis, and you need to really know a lot of IT tools, which is R or Python or Spark or Hadoop or Tableau or Power BI or Excel for that matter, right? So combination of these three things actually forms data science. So you can clearly see there are a lot of transferable skills you have when you have to jump into this area. Essentially, the knowledge of domain, and then some tools like Excel sheet, which you anyway know, right? Excel sheet, PowerPoint, which you can take it over there. Stats, linear algebra, calculus, all of us we have studied in our school education. We have to just rebrush those concepts, right? To give you the point, case in point, why it is important. Let's say you're seeing my picture, but it is not a picture. Computer doesn't understand the picture. Computer understands the zeros and ones. So this picture need to be converted into a data zeros and ones, and how this data will be represented is as a matrix, right? So when ChatGPT, when you really write a text, ChatGPT doesn't understand this your statement or text. ChatGPT, the system machine learning or machine understands zeros and ones. So you have to convert it to that, and that's where the best data representation technique is matrices. So it's important for us to really understand those basic concepts which we have studied, but nobody has taught us why did we study, right? Don't follow those stupid bloggers or reel makers those who claim that we don't know why did we study linear equation or matrices. That's your ignorance. You're not able to use it. That's your bad luck. But all these things which we are taught to you are important, right? And I think you will realize the importance of those things once you start reading it, reread it, and apply it. It's being used in manufacturing, telecom, e-commerce, social media, name any industry, name any business function, it is being used. Right? Again, recapping, which are the all top skills: statistics, probability, multivariate calculus, linear algebra, programming, coding. Best language is Python. But now with large language models, English has become the coding language. So the best language to code or to talk to the machine is English. So you can actually write in English language, okay, generate a code for login form, and ChatGPT will generate, or even Auto Copilot. So even as a non-tech person, you don't have to really get so much pressure that I am not good at coding. Okay, nobody is good at coding. Please understand, right? You have to develop the interest. But now you have a tool which can really write a code for you, but you should be good at actually formulating the problem, right? And slowly and gradually you'll learn. Predictive modeling, machine learning, data model deployment, the visualization. You can visualize data using Power BI or Tableau. Business knowledge, problem solving, critical thinking, communication, collaboration. These are like software skills you possess, right? Okay, so this question I keep on reading on Quora and other platforms. This is absolutely useless question. These are not verses. As I explained you, data science uses a lot of data science is an interpretation field, which the objective is to analyze the data or build the data product. And for doing so, data science uses the key techniques in AI. And AI is not one consolidated stuff. There are underlying technologies within the AI, which is computer vision for looking at the things, NLP for analyzing the text, and machine learning, deep learning for identifying the pattern, right? Robotics giving the power to machine to dance, right? So data science uses a lot of AI techniques for data analysis, depending on the kind of data you're analyzing. Now, this is another question which I keep on seeing, that what is the difference between data scientists, business analysts, and data scientists? So see, data scientists are like an Iron Man, right? So they can become AI engineers. Most of our students, those who started their career as a data scientist, they now eventually become AI engineer, AI professional, because skill sets are quite common in both the jobs. Data scientists, just like Iron Man, business analysts, they are like not take in literal sense, don't feel offended. But data scientists can do the job of business analysts and data analysts, which we discussed, right? So they can do the small data analysis at the same time, large data analysis, and they not only analyze the data, but they can also build the data product, which data analysts and business analysts can't, right? And that's the reason they're replacing data analysts and business analysts in most of the jobs, and they're making more money. And specifically in mid-sized organizations, startup, they are hiring data scientists. Large organizations still hire separate roles for data analyst, business analyst, data scientist, machine learning engineers, but that's not a normal phenomena in startups and mid-sized organizations. Okay, so I'll not go deeper into AI and other stuff which we already discussed, right? How do you really enter into this field? Start reading the blogs. So Data Science Gyan is a blog. You can go over there. There are tons of blogs on YouTube. Go on YouTube, visit Microsoft Azure, visit AWS, right? And you'll find a lot of stuff. Go and visit Aegis TV YouTube channel, and you'll find a lot of expert videos on data science, AI in telecom, marketing, finance, banking, insurance, tons of stuff, right? Apply for this AGBA Talent Hunt scholarship. Every year we award at least 15 to 20 candidates 100% scholarship to study this PGP in AI data science at Aegis. This year the award happened on February in New Delhi. So this year our scholarship is already over. You can apply for the next year. We give work assistantship wherein student while studying they can really do the project work as well. Download these white papers from Google. Data science transforming the ICT domain, big data, right? And this will give you enough basic knowledge. Now, practical ways, how do you really enter into this field? Again, repetition. Pick up short-term courses which are free of cost available out there. If you feel that yes, you have a difficulty catching up, join the structured PGP programs or MS programs in data science or AI. Some good institutions, IIT Kharagpur, IIM Kolkata, ISI, these three institutions offers PGP in data science. That's a good institution. MS in data science by New York University, MS in data science by Berkeley. They are very good programs, and of course, Aegis, right? If you don't know a lot of skills, you simply know start Python, apply for some project work with Aegis, and you can really start learning those skills. Become research associate at Aegis, participate in National Talent Hunt, and I'm sure there are a lot of other institutions are also offering the scholarship or similar stuff. Right. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you're most welcome. I appreciate your patience. And, any question, guys?
Yes, sir. And Dattatreya,
Yeah.
I have another one
Yeah,
question.
please.
That
Yeah, please.
with the reference of one of my friend, I am about to get a job in Bajaj Finance.
Okay.
So I
Wonderful.
don't know whether you are heard about it or not. Bajaj
No, I
Finance.
heard about it.
So I was just finding interest in banking or or just for the calculation or the numbers.
Right.
That's why. And I'm not much. I don't even know what is the difference between finance and banking.
Don't worry about that.
Just because I was finding interest in share market, I thought it would contribute to my knowledge by doing some job in such sector of like banking. And what I realized in this webinar, many of the people are from working in the bank or one of the person was teaching MBA, Siagarh College of I think Pune in I think. So my question is whether it would contribute to my knowledge or not, so that I can implement
every interaction. So I think this is a good question, but you should be smart enough to really understand. So did you learn from this interaction? 1.5 hours interaction. Did you learn something?
Sorry, sir.
Did you learn something in this 90-minute session? Did you gain some knowledge?
Yes, sir. There are. Yes,
okay.
Sir.
So any experience, any interaction, any talk, any experience will add value to your life, will enhance your knowledge. So while you will be working with Bajaj Finance, you will get a real time experience that what are the problems Bajaj Finance is having. So, I don't know which department they will be putting you, but irrespective of the department, you will gain a knowledge. But can you rely completely on gaining the knowledge through experience? The answer is no. You have to be on a steroid, right? So you need to really start learning through various other platforms. So you said, okay, you don't understand the difference between, you don't understand finance, right? So go and read about the finance. Go and read about the financial statements, right? Go and read about what are the parameters on which you can really decide, predict the, do the stock price prediction, right? What are those components? Use ChatGPT to really learn. Use Google to really learn, right? So there are tons of material out there. You can find from tons of courses.
Do the terminologies about the banking relates or aligns with the share market terminologies?
So these are all part of the financial bank BFSI industry, right? So largely you have to once you start your career from there, right? You are working in a subdomain. But stock market prediction may not necessarily you will be learning up those lingos in Bajaj Finance, right? For that you need to really put in extra effort. But without any exposure, I don't think any sharekhan.com or any company which are into the share market price prediction, they will employ you. So start somewhere. And once you are there, you will start picking up those knowledges, those lingos. So you don't have to really worry about that.
Actually, I had shared my resume, who was mentioning only my academic projects only, which was just front end, back end, full stack development kind of projects. So and even after that, they find interest in my resume or my profile.
Good.
So
Good,
I was
wonderful.
just hello.
Good. Quite interesting. So start your journey. Wish you good luck, right? And start gaining the knowledge parallelly.
No, I'm just I have just one question that why are they requiring a BTech CSE students, Bajaj Finance
I don't know because I didn't hire you, so I can't. How I can really tell you,
company?
right?
Sir, can I add some points over
Yeah,
here,
please, please.
Sir, basically for brother, I want to answer this question. Basically, what we are learning in college, suppose you have come across a subject like a numerical method, in which you learn about deduction to get the nearest result, like Gauss's
Right.
schedules, there are Gauss's methods and Newton rationale. So basically, these are tools. Like we have learned about normal distribution. Basically,
Right.
it is a tool. It has got implication in many subjects, but in different ways. It is about
Right.
what you are trying to find out. Like in
Right.
electrical engineering, throughout my career, I have throughout my educational life, I have analyzed the behavior of an electron. And over
Right.
here, when I am in banking, I am using the same tools, same mathematical tools, but I am analyzing the behavior of a person, of how he is
Right.
transacting. What is his digital footprint? How much he earns, how much he is doing the expenditure. Depending on that, I am providing him or financing him some amount.
Right.
So that analyzing that, it will come back to me 100%. There should not be 99% also that I won't be able to recover, because this is not my money. I need to
Right.
answer the organization. So
Right,
there is
right.
analysis over here also, but basically the same mathematical tool. Just the implication of what you are trying to find, it changes. Over there, you are finding in computer science, you are finding the behavior of how the computer understands your language in digital to analog. There are many, but over here,
No, so you're right, absolutely. So as I mentioned, there are a lot of skills which are transferable skills. So you have studied bell curve, but bell curve is not only used in engineering, right? Bell curve is used in analyzing the human behavior, right?
Yes, sir, it can be
Or
used
analyzing
in
the grades.
statistics.
So most
Yes,
of
sir.
the skills are basically transferable. And so when company hires, company don't hire. So if they have, say, 10 vacancies, and if they find the exact 10 people match for those skills, they will prefer these guys. But if they are not finding exact match, they will try to really increase their net, and they'll try to really find candidate those additional skills can be used, and these skills can be transferred. And those skills could be academic qualification. Let's say if somebody is having 85% throughout, it means that this guy is having at least capability to study 6 to 7 hours a day, and I can really use this skill in any field, right? So these are the transferable skills which a recruiting manager, or perhaps department head analyzes and figures it out. And you can really make it this out not only looking at the CV, but while interacting with other persons. So I keep on interviewing people, and I see that this candidate is not suitable for this role. He may be suitable for some other role, right? Because you are able to really make those assessments. So that's how the world works. So good that yes, based on your CV, they got impressed, they hired you, they are giving you responsibility. Take a leap of faith, and you have interest in the stock market. Parallelly start learning.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, I want to thank to Sean sir as well. Sean sir, can I may I know
Thank
your
you,
full
thank
name, sir, so that I can connect you on
Shaun
LinkedIn?
Kumar Das. Shaun Kumar Das. Shaun Kumar Das.
Sean Kumar Das.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. I will
Okay,
connect you on
okay,
LinkedIn.
okay. Okay.
Okay, guys,
And
thank you so much. Have a one.
sir,
Okay, please, you have questions.
sir, one thing I want to say you, Bhupesh, sir, that what question I asked after that presentation, it got clear, sir, that why data, what is the difference between a data scientist and a data analyst, and what should I pursue, sir? Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I got
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Great, great. It's good that it really helped you. Okay, thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday afternoon, night, and good luck for your future.